Look, Mr. Chairman, as we get started today, I appreciate your remarks and opening. Just for anyone that's not aware, across America, the majority of the House of Representatives is Republicans. The Speaker of the House of Representatives is a Republican. The majority of the United States Senate is Republican. The majority leader of the United States Senate is a Republican. The President of the United States is a Republican. Republicans have the majority, they're in charge. With majorities and with the gavels comes responsibility. The good senator from Texas is the chair of this committee because Republicans are in the majority. We had a governor from the state of New Mexico, cattle rancher, his name was Bruce King. And Bruce used to tell us when folks couldn't find some solution, he says, you know, you got to lock people up in a barn and not let them out until they can come up with a solution to the problem. My friend from Texas understands that. They've got good cattle ranches down there. They've got good barns down there. The President of the United States just finished jet setting around the world, and he decided to come back and celebrate with a Roaring 20s party in Florida. Roaring 20s. That was a difficult time in our nation's history because those parties were about celebrating folks being broke, people not having food. And they had that party, and then on, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday, I guess it was, the president had a breakfast at the White House, which is good. He should have more breakfasts. But he only invited Senate Republicans. And in that meeting, what was reported is he told them, shutdown's not good on Republicans. He knows they're in charge. I certainly hope the president will stick to his words when he said it's incumbent upon the president of the United States to prevent shutdowns, to solve shutdowns. And I certainly hope that even where there are differences, the people come into a room and do the right thing because everyone wants this shutdown to end. I don't believe my Republican colleagues want to see insurance premiums across America double either. I really don't. They care about their constituents the way that I care about my constituents. And I'm certainly hopeful that we'll see some leadership now, bring some people together, get some breakfast. If they need some New Mexico chili to make it better, I'll bring it. But we've got to make sure that people come together. So with that, Mr. Chairman, with my opening here, Captain Blue, Mr. Kloster, and Ms. Schultz, congratulations on your nominations and for taking time to be here today. And before I get to my questioning, I have to say I am deeply disturbed and frankly alarmed that the committee is rushing ahead with this nomination to replace NTSB Vice Chair Alvin Brown, who President Trump illegally removed earlier this year. And anyone that looks at the law, looks at the rules surrounding this, it's plain and simple. The facts are straightforward. The Senate unanimously confirmed Vice Chair Brown last year, and his term does not expire until the end of next year, and the president removed him without complying with the law that Congress passed. Plain and simple. And now folks are choosing to look the other way and advance his replacement, even though there isn't a clear vacancy to fill under the law. As the chair knows, last week, my Democratic colleagues and I, we sent a letter conveying our strong opposition to proceeding with this hearing on Vice Chair Brown's replacement. Several colleagues on this committee co-signed this. As we wrote in that letter, I believe rushing this process forward, particularly while there is active litigation over this very issue, only emboldens the White House to ignore the law. And by holding this hearing, Republicans are just rubber stamping this behavior. So I will again urge my colleagues not to proceed with this NTSB nomination until the ongoing litigation is conclusively resolved on its merits. Some might say this is all inside baseball, too far removed from the day-to-day lives of Americans. But these are not just academic musings. The NTSB, like many other independent agencies, works every day to help Americans stay safe by seeking to unravel its independent status, inject uncertainty, and politicize the board. The administration is undermining the NTSB's ability to formulate independent safety recommendations that save people's lives. So, Captain Tilo, I wish your nomination came under different circumstances because I acknowledge your significant experience. I imagine under any other time, if there was an opening, you'd probably get unanimous vote out of here and off the floor and everywhere else. Your credentials are clear. Your qualifications are absolutely clear. This is not about you at all, sir, at all. I applaud your service and I applaud what you have done, what you've achieved. Now, that said, given your current employment with American Airlines, as you know, you'll need to recuse yourself from working on the NTSB's pending investigation into the January 29th DCA mid-air collision. Captain Liu, I hope you will make clear today that you understand the vital importance of an independent NTSB. And out of respect for that independence and the rule of law, I hope you'll firmly commit to stepping aside if the court declares Mr. Brown's removal to be unlawful. In addition to the NTSB, we also have 2 nominees for Surface Transportation Board. Ms. Kloster, you'll be joining the board after a long career in the rail industry. And Ms. Schultz, you will be renominated a second term on the board. The STB is another independent agency which plays a critical role in protecting business and consumers from unfair business practices that harm competition in the rail industry. If confirmed, you'll be responsible for reviewing the largest rail merger in history between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern. I would also point out that early this year, President Trump unlawfully removed STSB member Robert Primus without cause, in violation of the law. Mr. Primus is also actively challenging his removal in court. For the record, however, I will note that neither of today's STSB nominees would replace Mr. Primus if confirmed. Nevertheless, the president's actions against Mr. Primus only underscores why we need to have your firm commitment that you will carry out your duties independent of improper political influence if confirmed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.